Guys, welcome unknowns, we are the unknowns, welcome back to our YouTube channel, and today we are up with another astrophysics class, astrophotography class, because I was really happy with, like, literally 4 hours we got 64 views, and that's a really great thing for us. Okay, so now before we start, I know I should have taken this yesterday, but yesterday was not such a complicated class, but today we're going to go deep on telescopes. Yeah, today we'll be going on telescopes. I know it's quite bright today. You can see it's really literally bright. I'm here at 6 o'clock. In India it's bright in 6 o'clock. Okay, so yeah, we'll be first learning about like the parts of telescope and how it helps to take photos, and then at the night, not at the night, a few minutes later we'll be taking the class on normal phone. So as you see, can you see right there, the moon's there, the white thingy. So that's the moon, and let's start. Well, before we start, please subscribe to this channel. And our videos are literally totally different. We are here to share knowledge. That's why I'm taking tutorials. It's not a class, it's a tutorial. So if you still don't understand, please comment down below. And telescopes may differ. Like the one I have is a smaller one. I also have a bigger one, the Celestron. It's as tall as me, but for now let's forget that, and now we're going to do with the smaller one, the Orion one that we saw the moon yesterday. If you haven't seen the last video, please go and see it. It's part 1. Yeah, so let's start. So before we start, for this photography class, it's not a professional photography class, so professionals don't laugh at this video. Okay, so last class we talked about this, right? This is a photo holder, like a camera holder, which helps you to take better photos. So this is part of my bigger telescope, but for now we'll just be using it for our small telescope. So before we go into photography, I'll just show you. This is how my telescope that I used yesterday, I quite dismantle it so it helps you to learn. I also made, these are the 3 lenses. This is 25mm lens. As you can see, what this 25mm lens does is it helps you to find far objects like Jupiter. When you find it, then you use this 10mm. This 10mm is a huge magnification range, and this is the 25mm. It's normal for planets. I advise you to use the 10mm, and for places like moons or close objects like Mars or Venus, you can use this. But for Jupiter, I advise you to use this and Saturn. Okay, so now we know a little about lenses. Any guesses what this is? Any guesses what this is? Okay, for people who have telescopes, they might know this, I'm not sure, but this is called the primary lens. What I have here is a reflector telescope. It's a Skyscanner 100. So it reflects all the objects, and there's a primary mirror here, and there's another secondary mirror here which reflects the object. Like it will be here, it's going to be in this hole here. I'm going to place it literally like this, and then so any object that enters inside bounces on this and comes on this, comes out. Okay, so this is, please close, this is a lid, a normal lid, and few screws for screwing it up. And now we have the stand. Well, I mainly prefer the ones with having the tripod, because these type of telescopes literally need literally need a stand. It's a tabletop telescope, so I advise you guys to have something like this. So I'll show you a video of how I assemble these things. So let's go. Let's just set this thing up here. Can you see me? Okay guys, so now you really have to be very careful while doing this, because if the primary mirror breaks, then the use of a reflector telescope is useless. I made that my own. Okay, so now we are going to insert this slowly. You have to tilt this a bit so that you get the grip, or else if you just push it inside, it's not going to work. Can you see this? Can you see? You have to, yeah, and you got it. Make sure the screw and this thing is aligned. Never ever drop a screw into this. And I only remove this just to clean it. Do not often don't remove this thing often, because it might break. Breaking is another matter. It may get a scratch and the object might not be really clear. So we're going to tighten this. And yes, see guys, yesterday I'm still happy because I really didn't expect 64 viewers in 4 hours. That was 4 hours ago. I have not yet checked now. And now, so this is why I'm taking this class, or else I would have taken it few days later. I hope today's sky is literally clear. Can you see the sky? Looks clear. Don't get frustrated like me. Don't break it. Well, for the first thing that you need for astrophotography is, any guesses? is patience. I know patience is the word is easy to say but not hard to do. But it's hard to do. Yeah. So now it's tight. Just pull it a bit. If it falls, it's not tight. So now before we do anything, we're going to take the tripod. Not a tripod. It's a stand type of thing. So wait 1 second. I'm going to bring it the way you can see it. I hope you can see it. I'm not going to record this video again. Yeah, so you insert it here, and then I don't think these things are needed for you, but for the telescope I have the second one, like this one, you really need it. Yeah, so now our telescope is ready, and whenever you're closing it, please use this to close it. And one more advisory: if you want to take the picture of the sun, do not okay, so hello, we have this here right now, and we have the telescope facing that. So now the lens is also here behind it, you can see it. So now we're going to like slowly, I hope my hand doesn't touch it, we're going to insert it. Yeah, I explained you about this little buddy here, right? So I'll tell you another advice. When you're new to astrophotography, before you scan the sky, please make sure, if you're new to telescope itself, please like try and aim the nearby trees and tops of houses. Those don't spy on others, like trees, mainly trees, or if you have any mountains, scan mountains or any bird sitting. That will like literally improve your searching skill. And if you can hear birds are now coming, I'm not going to take it in this because my telescope is not for that. It has a super zooming, but you can, if you have binoculars, that's another issue, you can go to that. But before you start anything, I'm advising you to please use this thing. It's a very helpful thing. Yeah. So now, as I mentioned before, we are going to capture that tree there. So I advised you to first start with the nearby trees, things, right? So for those guys, I'm going to help now. So as you see, we are going to slowly insert this thing here. Yeah, it's already super dark. Yes, we have inserted it, and we are going to insert it here. Insert the tube, whatever you call that thing. Okay, so now we are going to try to find the object. Yeah, you can see those clouds moving there, right? Okay, we're going to go a bit down. Yeah, we have gotten the tree now. Okay, we're going to focal length it properly. Yeah, so this is the perfect focal length. And yeah, voila, picture. Guys, yesterday's sky was literally so dark. So it was so cloudy. So today, if it is not so cloudy, we will be doing the Note 9 class. The phone on, it's more complicated, that class today night. But for now, I'll just post the video of the telescope on how to use it more better. It's a better explanation of the telescope that I did today, so I'll be posting it today. I know I'm not going live, I'm just telling you so that whenever you see this, it will help you. But that video that I took yesterday was really nice, and the next video will be about Note 9. It's more the complicated version. It's not so complicated. Don't take it so hard. Don't take it in so hard, but it's not so complicated. Everyone can understand it. So then, yeah. See you.